Hello, today we're going to talk a little bit about Iranian languages. In this map, you can see all the extension of the old Iranian languages. This map showed us like the different distribution of this language. And this language was basically divided in two main groups: Avestan language and Old Persian language. Avestan language is a Eastern language. Its writing was using it for ritual practices. The Advantage language is known because of many manuscriptions, and it was based on religion tradition. As you can see here, this is the Avestan languages, and it basically showed us like different symbols and exactly how the intonations and the stuffs are. The other main group was Old Persian. Old Persian is a Western language. It has a lot of Babylonian literary tradition on it. And we know this language nowadays thanks to some contents of the Bible and archaeological discoveries. As you can see, here is the Persian alphabet too, and it's full of many symbols that we know because of this stuff that I already told you. However, nowadays we have different Iranian languages that emerged from these two previous. There was Advantage language and Old Persian language. In the map, we can see how's the distribution of the Iranian languages today.
The Iranian or Iranic languages are a branch of the Indo-Iranian or Indo-European languages family that are spoken natively by Iranian peoples. The Iranian languages are grouped in three stages: Old Iranian, Middle Iranian, and New Iranian. The two directly attest Old Iranian languages are Old Persian and Old Avestan of the Middle Iranian languages. The better understood recorded ones are Middle Persian from the Sasanian Empire, Parthian from the Parthian Empire, and Bactrian from the Kushan and Heptalite empires. As of 28, there were an estimate 150 until 200 million native speakers of the Iranian languages. Entomologues estimate that there are 86 Iranian languages, the largest among them being Persian, and the Kurdish dialect continuum. The Iranian languages are divided into the following branches: the Western Iranian languages, of which Persian is the dominant member, the Northwestern, of which the Kurdish languages are the dominant members, the Eastern Iranian languages subdivided into Southeastern, of which Pashto is the dominant member, and Northeastern, by far the smallest branch, of which Ossetistan is the dominant member. The classification about or distribution or Iranian languages by population are Persian 36%, Pashto 27%, Balochi 30.5%, Kurmanji 6.7%, Luri 5.8%, and Sorani 3.1%, and the other 7.9%.
Farsi, Dari, Tajik, Kurdish, Pashto, Ossetian. Nowadays, Those are the languages that are spoken in the Iranian Plateau territory. Persians, who are divided further into subgroups such as Achaemenids, Farsins, Hazaras, Tajiks, Tads, and Ahams, speak closely related languages known as Farsi in Iran, Tajik in Tajikistan, and Dari in Afghanistan, spoken about 130 million people. Speak the Kurdish language, Kermansi, Sorani, and Kilhuri, and live in Syria, Turkey, Iraq, Iran, and it's estimated for their population vary on from 20 to 30 million, more or less. The Pashtuns are members of the eastern branch of Iranian people, about 40 million people, and they mainly live in Afghanistan and in Pakistan. Finally, the Ossetians, they are members of the eastern. These people live in Caucasus, and they are descendants of the Alans. They speak Ossetic, and there is about 570,000 people. These Iranian languages and this investigation about this showed us how magnificent this Iranian culture, the Iranian culture can be. It's really interesting about it. I even about everything about it is really interesting. I found many important exhibits. I found lots of movie trailers about Iranian culture. Even I saw a movie that I hope you like it. I will let you a trailer at the end of the video. And it's super nice how this can teach us how the process and the improving of our languages can be. So I will let you right here a really good sample about all the different languages that are spoken right now in this territory.
Which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
ای پدر آسمانی ما نام تو مقدس باد.
ای پدر آسمانی ما نام تو مقدس باد.
ای پدری ما که در آسمانی اسم تو مقدس باد.
باب می از مانا نام ته پیروز به.
ای پاسمان کې زمونږ پلاره ستا نوم دې پاک وي.
نوالار وونفت شغدگ ودنهم.
I've always asked the same question to myself. And what did I find? Well, I was looking for the etymological meanings of many words, and I found the word cobija in my native language, which is Spanish. And I realized that cobija, in most words with J, jota in Spanish, they come from the Arabic languages. And I don't know how, but Spanish once were related with Arabian languages. And that's why we have many words that come from that country, from that language. And such like this, we have many others that I don't have in mind now. You might search for them.
Now, why is this issue so important nowadays? We've been discussing about ancient languages, but why is it so important now in the 21st century? Now, for this, we got Professor Later, who will answer all of our questions about the difficulties we have right now, nowadays, and what is the main importance of these languages for us as teachers, professors, linguistics, PhDs, whatever. What is the main importance of the Arabics, Iranians, and all of these Indo-European families languages? What is so important about this? Now, when it comes to modern languages, to the modern Iranian language, we must distinguish it from the middle one and the Asian one. What is the distinction there? There is no distinction such. The thing is, a dialect has become a new language for them, using words and terminologies from other different languages, who has formed this new modern Iranian language that we see today. Middle Iranian language goes from 300 BC to 950 CE. Now, linguistics, they have this topic really related to Parthian language. It's the one who was spoken, and it's really similar to the old ancient Iranian language that my friend later was explaining to you guys. The issue here is that both have the same grammatical and written structure. That's what makes them so similar.
Intelligibility of the ancient Iranian language is not certainly. They have to be born in our mind. For one side, we have the poetry of Zoroaster, which are in a Bastan language. And by the other hand, we have the old script of the rules in Old Persian by Achaemenid. I'm gonna share with you a little bit of information about ancient Iranian language. We just know two of them. Of course, they might exist many of others, but tonight you guys are going to understand and know a little bit about a Bastan language. It was an old language, already extinct, which was spoken in the eastern of Iran. And the another one is Old Persian. The Old Persian was spoken in the west side of Iran.
Which are part of a group. This group they're a branch from the Indo-European language family. Now, these Iranian languages are divided into three different historical groups. We got the ancient, the middle, and the modern. Now, linguistics have divided this into these different groups because they believe these languages have gone through a big process of changing. We got the ancient writing system that was really different from the one that we have now. We have the middle one and the modern one that they have changed completely. Now, we're going to see this more clearly when we talk about the vocabulary that was happening in the 7th century. But for now, we're going to begin with this incredible Iranian languages documentary.
I'm going to talk about some main characteristics, and I'm going to start talking about vocabulary. It's very important to understand that back in the 7th century, Islamic invaded Iran. And when this happened, they changed not just even religion, but also the vocabulary, the language itself. When they invade this country, it's important to understand that the sacred language of Islam was Arabic. And the vocabulary, because of this invasion, increased to a 40 to 50%.
Iranian languages. We're going to be discussing some characteristics from this magnificent language. We'll be talking about characteristics such as phonology, such as grammar, and structure within vocabulary that has been given from all of these centuries, even before Christ, 2,000 years ago.
تو مریضی بچه؟
بچه قارم نیست هرچی دنبالشون گشتم نتونستم پیداشون کنم
فردا چطوره برم مدرسه؟
9 ساله بودم به پدر مادرم کمک میکردم چرا من عصبانی میکنه؟ ها؟
Un par de zapatos extraviados. Un par de zapatos compartidos. Dos hermanos que desean que sus días vuelvan a la normalidad. Una historia emotiva e ingeniosa, nominada al Oscar como Mejor Película Extranjera.